Hey, hey, Happy New Year, guys. I'm back. Sorry for the delay. It has been very chaotic the last few weeks. Um, I totally recorded a video for when we were going to be away in Florida. We went on vacation on the 2nd of January, and I had full intentions, and I did record an entire video for you guys, but I don't know what happened. The sound cut out halfway through the video, and I did not have any time to redo that since we were getting on a plane the next day. So I apologize for not getting that video out to you, but I don't know. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you wanted to. But all that being said, we are back. Um, we had a great trip to Florida. We were able to spend a lot of time with Brian's dad, his wife, and her daughter. Hi, guys. And it was a really, really great time. It actually was not a vacation that we needed a vacation from. We chose to kind of only do like one thing a day. It wasn't like this chaotic, smush everything in type of vacation. The weather was amazing, even though it cracked me up when everyone was cold because I think it only hit 80 maybe once, maybe twice. But for the most part, it was like in the 70s and beautiful. Oh, it was so lovely. And it was such a nice break from the chilly weather, but not quite the hot weather that Nicole does not do well in. So we had a great time. We went to Daytona Beach and did some things down there. We went to St. Augustine, which is one of my favorite places to visit in Florida. And then on Saturday, before we left, we were able to drive down to Orlando to get together with our former pastors from our church back in Pennsylvania, which was amazing. And we just love their families. We spent a little time with all four of them, but then we ended up going into Orlando and hanging out with Pastor Rob and Amy, which was amazing. But it was just so nice to see them and spend some time with all four of them because we hadn't seen Pastor Doug and Carol since we left Pennsylvania. So it was really, really nice. And those people are like family to us, and we love them so much. So it was really, really fun to spend some time. And I got my first turkey in bowling. Like, what? I rarely get a strike as it is, but I did great. Apparently, I need to be in Orlando, and I will only ever bowl at this place because the problem is I'm weak. I mean, everyone thinks like, oh, Nicole, she's tall, but no, I'm weak. So the smaller bowling balls usually have really tiny finger holes. These had big finger holes, so I was able to bowl there and lift it at the same time. So I apparently was a better bowler than I thought. So that was exciting. And I recorded my turkey because I said, Chanel, record this for me. And unfortunately, she only recorded the strike part. She didn't like take the turkey sign or anything. So I had to I had to show proof that it was like 3 in a row. But no, we had a great time. And it was a rough week for me. January is always a really hard month for us. My dad passed away on January 9th of 2021, and then his birthday is the 19th. So it kind of is like back to back, but it was a really special time for me. When my dad's anniversary comes up, usually on the day I will do some version of kindness to someone. I will either pay for something, or I will like donate to a charity that he would have donated to. So something in honor of my dad. But I wasn't able to do that because we were on a boat, which my dad would have loved. We went to Silver Springs State Park, I think it's called, and it was a great time. And I saw otters. I mean, even though they were like second, I saw them for a second, but we saw manatees and alligators and all sorts of stuff. But my dad would have loved that. So it was nice having a part of him with me there. One of the best things I think that we got to experience, my father-in-law and his wife attend Parkview Church down in Palm Coast, and that was a really awesome church to go to, way bigger than I'm used to and that they are used to. We're all like very small churchy kind of people, but what a great church. If you guys live in that area, I believe they're opening up one in St. Augustine. They have another one in a different area. So if you're down in that area, I highly recommend those campuses, because the pastors were great. I mean, I've been watching the services since I've left, and what a Bible believing church. It was great service, great worship. The people there were super friendly. So we had a great time visiting that church. So there's a plug for Parkview Church in Palm Coast. But as I enter the new year, I'm trying to figure out like how I want to continue doing this, because I don't want it to just be like me yes, I want it to obviously be me. But like, if there's something that you want to know about, or if you want to hear more about, like, I'm open to suggestions. Like, if you're like, hey, I'd really like to hear your, not my thoughts. I mean, they are my thoughts, but like, if you want to like go through something, or like, let's look at something together, like I'm down for anything. So if you're like, hey, I would love to hear your thoughts about this or that or whatever, I am trying to, not because I'm afraid of it, or I'm just trying to stay away from like hot topics, if that makes sense. Because I know, and like I said, I'm not afraid of the conversation. Like, if you're like, hey, I want to really hear your thoughts on abortion, or what, like, I'll tell you from scripture. I mean, it's not going to be what Nicole's thoughts are. I'm going to go to the Bible about it. So, yeah, if you're interested in something, or if you're like, hey, I'm really struggling in this area, like, can you talk about that? Like, I'm okay with anything. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm just trying to figure out and think about, like, okay, how does God, not how do I, like, but like, where is God leading me here? Like what direction does he want to take me in with this? Because like I said, I start off one way and then I just let God do his thing. So if he is like, hey, I want you to talk about this, like, I'm going to talk about that. And that's that. So, I think for today, just because I think the last few weeks have, for me, been a lot about being intentional with people. And, when you move away from people, literally, when you move away, it's really hard to keep friendships and relationships with people, because it's really easy when you see that person all the time. Like, when you go to church with people, it's easy to hang out with them. Like, everybody knows that work friend that they wish they still talk to, but now that they have a new job or they have a new job, like how do we stay intentional in our relationships, and not just in our, for me, like it's not just been about like my personal one-on-one with people, but like my intentional relationship with the Lord. Like, am I reading every day? Like, I'm going through the Bible again this year, and last year I took it a year off from reading all the way through, but not from the Bible. But it's like, how am I being intentional in my walk with the Lord? How am I being intentional in my relationship with Christ and with others around me? And like, how do I navigate this? And there's a chapter in Romans. Look, I have a Bible. Not that I don't love my computer, but I just had a Bible near me, so I grabbed that. And you know, I think that God has blessed us. I know God has blessed us all with different talents and different gifts. And like for me, not giving, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Like helps is my spiritual gift. Like I love helping. I am not one to be front and center. And I think I've said this before, like everyone thinks because I'm very like outgoing and loud, and I don't mind speaking up, that I love the spotlight. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I actually love being the support role. I don't like being in leadership roles, even though I tend to end up in them. But I wouldn't if I had the choice. Like I said, I just do what God tells me to do. And because of my outgoing personality, it tends to lead me in like a more leadership area, or like, oh, Nicole knows, go ask her, but my true joy is supporting other people and allowing my gifts to support them so that they can shine. And it's not because I think that I'm less than or I'm anything, less worthy, but it's just more, that's just not where I feel comfortable. And it's not my gifting. Like leadership for me is, I've taken every test there is. I've never been in a leadership role. So I am in a very supportive role. And I think that no matter what your gifts and talents are, like God has given you those so that you can, one, bless others, but more that you can honor Him through that. Like you can, whenever I'm put in a position or in a place that I'm not comfortable with, I can still manage to get through it. And then I can't take any credit for that. Like I have to say like, oh, that is not me, that's the Lord. I used to be really prideful about my singing and, oh, I was the best, and silly me. And I lost that talent for a long time. And then God blessed me with it back after crying and begging and being like, I promise I'm not going to like be such an egomaniac anymore. And not that He took it away for that, but it taught me a lesson that, I cannot I can't brag on myself and say, oh, this is me, I'm so amazing. Like I have to give that talent over to the Lord. And I can't sing as well as I used to. I mean, I can't hit those notes anymore, but I am I'm just so happy to have the talent at all to sing. And it's okay if I can't hit those notes and I can't sing those solos. And I'm just happy to be part of the team and singing at all, because I was a gift that was removed from me for a while. So I was thinking of reading Romans 12, because he's talking about, and I'll probably start at 4, 12:4, and it says, just as our bodies have many parts, and each part has a special function, so it is with Christ's body. We are many parts of one body, and we all belong to each other. In His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. And what I really liked is verse 9. And it says, don't just pretend to love others. Really love them. Hate what is wrong. Hold tightly to what is good. Love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. And then it goes on, but those verses, especially the 9 and 10, those verses I read last year, and I thought about it, like, how do we love someone? Like, what does that really mean? Like, you can say, like, oh, I love you, like, oh, I love, like, but really love them. Like, what does that look like? For some, it may mean like we hang out all the time, or we call each other all the time. But with all of my friends and family being separated from me, except for the ones that live here, some of my closest friends live all over the map. I have Texas, I have Jersey, New York, Virginia. I mean, some of my still in Pennsylvania. Some of the people that I love the most, I barely get to talk to. But when we get together, I mean, I'll be honest, like, me and my one friend, she lives in Texas. I think if we talk on the phone, it's probably like maybe once a year. I mean, we text each other a lot, but we just have very busy lives and schedules, and we text each other all the time, and it's like we both hate the phone, so we rarely call each other unless it's like, I gotta just talk to you, like I got some tea to spill, or you'll never believe this is way too long to type. But we have been intentional of just saying, like, hey, I'm thinking about you today. Oh, I saw this, like they joke on Facebook about having a real relationship. Like, I do send a ton of reels to people because I am like, oh my gosh, this person would love this. Oh, like, if you get a random reel from me, I promise it's probably from me, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that totally reminds me of such and such. Like, I gotta send this to them. And it's because, yes, life does get crazy and it gets busy. And if you are not intentional with your relationships, they will fall to the wayside. And the same goes in our faith. Like, if we are not intentional about reading our Bibles, if we're not intentional about going to church, about, letting Him change us, our relationship is going to fall by the wayside too. And each relationship looks different. Some I hang out with all the time. It's easier because of proximity. There's some people I talk to on the phone. That's how you know I love you, is if you get a phone call from me, because I usually don't. I mean, my family was genuinely nervous when I called one time because they were like, is everything okay? Like, I was like, nobody died, don't worry. Like, that's usually the only time you get a phone call from me, is if someone dies. But I just think it's super important that we, one, love the people that are in our lives. Whatever. We're going to fight, we're going to argue, but make up, don't hold grudges, don't sit there and cut people out of your lives and, write people off. I mean, there are specific instances where maybe that is necessary, but for the most part, we are to live in harmony with one another and be peaceful and reconcile our differences. And in a world of this, I don't want to say that, toxic boundaries, almost, where it's good to have boundaries. Boundaries were created by God, but I think people use that sometimes to the extreme. But the people that are in your life, they should matter to you, and they should know that they matter to you. And if you get hurt by something, or if you didn't like the way they did something, or I see this thing where children are like cutting off their parents now, and cutting off siblings, and cutting this person out and cutting that person out. But we're not perfect, so we need to work on our differences and try to unify again and get back with one another and restore those relationships. And that's what I think my goal is this year, is to be even more intentional. Like when they're you see someone, oh my gosh, we should get together, like, don't say like, oh, we should, like, be like, hey, even if it's 6 months from now, let's put it on the calendar. Like, let's get something in there so that in 6 months, when it's like, oh, hey, this is coming up, because it's like, you never know. Like, we're not promised tomorrow. It's important that we tell people we care about them, that we love them, even the bros. Like, I joke with my one friend all the time. I'm like, man, like, I need to get mushy for a minute with you, but you're still an idiot, like, joking. But like, I would die for these people. Like, I love them. I love their family. Their kids are like my kids. And that is how my friendships are. Any one of my friends knows I may not talk to you every day, but when it comes, when it hits the fan, like, call me, and I will figure out how to get to you. And that's how they are with me. I have a friend who lives in Pittsburgh that is like, I call her my wifey. It's just a running joke that, we were like, who needs husbands? We just need a wife, because we want what we are to our husbands. So we jokingly call each other wifeys. I love that woman to death. And even though I could not speak to her for months, I could call her tomorrow and pick up right up where we left. And doesn't help that she has my name, so she's automatically awesome. So that's what I'm challenging you guys to, I guess, today. Use your gifts, use your talents, bless your people around you, bless those in your life. Get involved in, I don't know if everybody who watches this goes to church, but if you're not involved in a church, get involved. If you're like, there's nothing for me here, make something. Like, if you're like, man, there's no, the one church really, like, they have a pickleball league. Like, I really love pickleball, so start a pickleball thing. You never know. But use the talents that God gives you to bless others. And don't be afraid to dive in on your relationships and be intentional and, really love others. So that's all. Sorry it's a little longer today, but I had like 3 weeks to make up for. So there you go. It's 24 minutes. So that's like, 6-7 minutes each. Other than that, I'm going to pray. And then I'm going to go because I have to get ready for Brian's mom to come to visit tomorrow for a few days. So that'll be fun. And then hopefully I'll have my microphone and all this jazz set up for next time. So I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being patient with me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's close out, and you guys all have a great night. Jesus, I thank you for all these beautiful people watching. I thank you that you have given us all different abilities and talents and gifts. And I just thank you for the ones you've given to me. Maybe some that I don't even know I have yet. But you made each one of us different. And I'm thankful that it's not a world of Nicole's. And I'm really thankful that you have made me unique and special. And I just pray for all my friends and family who are watching. I hope that I do a good job of showing them that they are loved. And if I'm not doing a good job, Lord, help me to be better. Help me to be even more intentional in my relationship with you. As I dive into another year of reading through your word, God, I just pray that you help me, because some of this is hard and I don't understand it all, God. So just give me wisdom. Allow me to be humble in the areas that I don't understand, and to ask for help. And I'm so thankful for the time I had to spend with our family down in Florida, for the time away, for the time of rest. Thank you for the amazing church you allowed us to attend. I pray that you bless them and that they grow even larger than they are, because, Lord, they are a Christ-following church, and those are kind of rare to find, people that are not afraid to stand on truth. And I just pray that you continue to bless them and all that are involved there. And I just thank you for this time. I thank you for your word, and I just ask that you bless everyone watching. In your name I pray, amen. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.